Hey everyone, my name is Jamie Lee. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching this video today. Now today I've got what should hopefully be a pretty quick little Knix video for you. I have some updates, some information on the anniversary sale that's happening right now, and I have a new temporary discount code that will save you even a little bit of extra money during that sale. So I figured let's make a quick video about it, talk about everything that's going on. Now firstly and most importantly, Knix is having an anniversary sale from now until April 28th, 2025. So during that time, pretty much anything leak-proof, so think Leakproof Undies, Leakproof Activewear, Leakproof Swimwear, anything is at least 30% off. There are also a ton of flash sales that are happening on individual days. So the day that I'm filming this, it is Wing Woman contour bras for $55 Canadian. Obviously US, the price will be slightly different and probably slightly cheaper, but the reason that this anniversary sale might feel earlier than usual is they're trying to do it ahead of any tariffs. If you've watched my videos for any length of time before, you will probably know that I am by far a leftist, very liberal in my beliefs, so I have hated Donald Trump long before any of this extra tariff action, but this has just been crazy, and I think many companies that are not based in the US are probably trying to do sales now ahead of impending tariffs. I believe that's what Knix is doing too. So 30% off, all leak proof. They've got a bunch of extra sales on individual specific items, flash sales on some of their best-selling bras and thigh savers, and I have a discount code. I'll put that on the screen here. I'll also have it down in the description box that saves you an extra 10% off your order. So especially if you live in the US and you're concerned that the tariffs are going to affect you, I would probably recommend, if you need any leak-proof undies, if you want a new leak-proof swimsuit before the summer, this is probably the time to do that before those tariffs take effect. Because this is a Canadian company, it's shipping from Canada. If and when they end up putting tariffs on us, across the board, you will absolutely be getting charged extra tariffs and import duties on Knix, which is super unfortunate. And I hope that at some point here we can go back to having a normal relationship between our countries, because quite honestly, this is bullshit. Now, I am going to quickly share a few of my favorite leak-proof things that I know are on sale during this time. Before we get into that, I have a couple of very quick, once again, little update things to say about Knix and a little request for you related to Knix. So if you do want to just skip through and find all of the different reviews of the individual cute little pieces, I'll use chapters. You can skip ahead. Otherwise, I've talked before that the Knix ambassador program can be a little bit frustrating. I'm part of a couple of different ambassador programs. There are some that I've joined over the years, some that I've left, some that I've been in for a really long time. None have had as many rapid back-to-back changes as the Knix one. I feel like I'm constantly getting whipped around. I never quite know what's happening. They're very bad at sending updates, and they definitely don't send updates in advance of things happening. So this sale was a complete surprise. Otherwise, I probably would have been able to give you more notice so you could plan what you wanted to buy in advance. Now obviously it's only going to be live for a week after posting this video. They've also completely changed what company they run their ambassador program through, which won't functionally matter to you, hopefully, but one thing that has come with that, I'm actually not sure if when you click my links they will properly redirect you to the Canadian site if you're Canadian. So a giant favor from me to you, if you are in Canada, could you please try clicking one of the Knix links in the description box? You can just click the very first one that's at the top and see if it properly redirects you to knix.ca. And a further request, if you do actually purchase something during this sale period, or in general if you purchase anything using any of the links below, please just let me know. You can either just leave a comment and say hey, I placed an order, or send me a DM on Instagram. That would also work. I actually don't think that it's tracking purchases properly, and I really don't think it's tracking click-through links to Canada properly. Once again, we only got notice that any of this was happening after they had already completely switched over to this new platform. It's been a bit of a mess. It's been a bit of a shit show. So I would love a little bit of help from you in that area. If you do click anything, if you do buy anything, just let me know how it goes, I guess. And if you do try the discount code on the Canadian site, on the US site, let me know if it works. It seems to be working for me, but I know that that doesn't always matter. I would just love to know. It's always very frustrating when things get changed super last minute. I am a type A personality. I need to feel in control of things at all times, and I need to know what's going on before changes happen. Having companies like do stuff like this, it always really throws me for a loop. So we'll see. With that, like I said, let me know if it works for you. If it doesn't, if you do make a purchase, let me know. I would love to hear how it works. And with that, let's super quickly do a little rundown of some of my favorite leak-proof things. Now, of course, I'm going to say leak-proof underwear. I 100% think that you should stock up on leak-proof underwear during the sale. I usually buy like one of the bundles. They oftentimes have bundles with like 3 or 5 pairs, and I'll just get one of those. Or if there's really fun patterns, I'll get like 2 or 3 of the newest patterns, which right now they do have these new patterns. So they have this like white with like little blue flowers. Very, very cute. They also have a dusty rose pink. Adorable. They also recently released lilac and butter, or buttercup. I don't remember what it's called, but a lot of like very cute seasonal colors. And at 30% off, once again, obviously this is a good time to stock up on a few pairs, plus extra 10% off with that code. And in terms of styles, unfortunately, for some reason, I grabbed black in everything today. In terms of styles, I always really recommend the French cut underwear. It's not quite as high rise. It kind of ends right at the belly button, and it's a little bit higher cut on the leg, because I sometimes find my legs get irritated with underwear that comes like right at the top of my thighs. I find it can dig in there throughout the day. This one just cuts up a tiny bit higher while still having pretty full bum coverage. Another style I really like are the high rise. So this is just leak-proof high rise. They come much higher than the French cut. My belly button is here. The French cut come a little below the belly button for me. The high rise come right up to my waist. So if you want something higher, hugging you in, this is a good option for that. Once again, very full coverage across the back. Now, if you are going to be buying them for your period during the workday, I recommend getting the leak-proof ultra thin version. They have this like slightly different gusset than a lot of the other pairs that has this extra band that prevents absolutely any liquid from coming out the front or back. And they just absorb a little bit more than the traditional leak-proof undies from Knix. If you are somebody with a very high flow, go for the Zones Plus Ultra leak-proof versions, but note that the gusset on those is a little bit thicker, will absorb way more, like 8 super tampons, some of them. But I personally find these leak-proof ultra thin ones, they feel and look like regular underwear. Like you can see they just squish right up like a regular pair of underwear would, but you still get quite a lot of leak-proof protection. So those are my preferred couple of styles. I also really like the leak-proof thongs. Not even so much for wearing on my period. I just wear the leak-proof thongs like daily. I'm not gonna lie. They fit really well. They're super comfy. And because they are leak-proof underwear, they'll absorb any little bit of like sweat discharge. If you've had kids and maybe you occasionally have a little bit of dribble when you sneeze, they'll absorb that. You don't have to worry about it. Definitely recommend the leak-proof underwear. Beyond anything else, if you get nothing else, get those for, once again, 40% off once you use the discount code. Very well worth that price. Next thing, they do also have 30% off all of their leak-proof activewear. Now, I don't always love their leak-proof leggings. I've talked about this before in the past. This is what they look like. They're fine. I just prefer a comfier legging, and I feel like they're just a little bit too compressive for me. So if you prefer a really compressive legging, you might really like those. However, I really recommend this little activewear dress. I think that this is so freaking cute. Absolutely so adorable. I love the shape of it. I like the length of it. I went with my usual size on this, which is a size medium, and it fits perfectly. Very comfy. Unlike some some activewear dresses that are just like too clingy across the tummy. This one's not. I feel like it just looks really cute, and it's leak proof, so obviously you could wear this on your period if you wanted. You can also just wear it if you're gonna go play pickleball or badminton or tennis and you're going to be like running all over the place really sweaty. This will absorb all that sweat. So then when you take this off, you still feel perfectly fresh and amazing. Another thing that I definitely think you should pick up during the sale if you don't own any already is at least one pair of thigh savers. Now these come in a variety of different like skin tone-esque colors. Like they have a nude, a brown, they have black, but then they also come in a couple of more fun patterns. And every once in a while they'll release new patterns in them. I love these. I wear them under absolutely every single dress I ever wear because they just stop your thighs from rubbing together so you don't get chub rub. Plus the leak-proof versions absorb a little bit of, once again, sweat, discharge, period blood, whatever. And they're just super comfy. Like these are just a super, super stretchy, really comfy, almost cooling fabric short. I have multiple different lengths of these. I have leak-proof ones and non-leak-proof ones. I even have some of the contour ones, which provide a little bit of compression and shaping for the tummy. Love those as well. So definitely recommend at least picking up one or two pairs of these for the summer if you don't have them already. In particular, if you wear a lot of dresses or skirts. If you don't, you probably don't need them. But even if you're just going to a wedding or something, I find these very, very convenient to just save your thighs. And then last but certainly not least, the Leakproof Swimwear is also on sale. Now this is my Leakproof swimsuit from this year, but of course they have tons of other styles as well, including other one pieces, multiple different bikini bottom styles, including both full coverage and more cheeky options, just depending on what you like. Now I really love the Leakproof Swimwear from Knix. I absolutely swear by it. Typically, if I am going to be going swimming for like a extended period of time. Maybe I'm like going to the beach all day. I'm going to be like in the water or at least like in a swimsuit literally all day. I'll usually wear like a Diva cup or something and then have the Leakproof Swimwear as a backup. If I'm just going to like somebody's house, I'm going to swim in the pool for a couple of hours then get out. I just wear the Leakproof Swimwear, nothing else, get out, change into my Leakproof Undies, and it has never let me down. I've never had leaks. I've never had anything. How these work is essentially it has a gusset in it similar to the Leakproof underwear, but once the blood kind of passes through that first layer, it gets locked in until it's released from there with soap. So once you put it in your washing machine, wash it, then it will finally be dispersed and it will be released back out of that padding, but before then it stays in there so you don't have to worry about any like leaks or anything visible into the water or leaking down your leg. And once again, I've worn these extensively on my period and I have never had any leakage. I've never had anything. Nobody would ever know that I was wearing a leak-proof swimsuit. They look and feel exactly like a regular suit. So definitely recommend these. And I do also want to point out, every once in a while I'll get a comment, and I usually delete these because a lot of times they're phrased very rudely or condescendingly. I'll get comments basically saying like, oh, Leakproof underwear is disgusting. I would never wear that. I would never let my kids wear that. Sometimes from men saying they would never let their wife wear it, which you're weird. You're a weirdo. These underwear are truly one of the most like transformative things that I've ever purchased for myself. These take being on your period from being so inconvenient. You're like going to the bathroom, you're changing your pad, changing your tampon, like constantly worrying about it. Or for me personally, I always found I hated using pads because I didn't like the smell. If you use pads or if you've used pads and know what I'm talking about, you know, there's just like a weird irony blood smell. I hated tampons because I felt like they always made me feel really dry and uncomfortable, and I hated that feeling. These do not make you feel like that. You don't ever feel wet because it just sucks everything away. It's not actually sitting, touching your skin. There's no smell, unlike a pad. I've never noticed a smell of any kind. I don't feel dry and rough and scratchy and uncomfortable because everything is still working as normal. You don't have anything randomly shoved up there. I just feel like they are a complete game changer that let you just live your normal life on your period and not have to worry. So if you've been feeling maybe a little bit wiggy big doubt about trying them. I don't know what to say other than it really is worth a try. Every single person that I have ever introduced these to in my real life has loved them and switched to them 100%. I don't know anybody that I have given these to that uses some kind of disposable products anymore. They're just amazing, so comfy. And if you don't like leak-proof underwear, you're like, that, I really don't like it, you can also just get regular underwear from Knix. And like you can see, these are really nice underwear just in general, but I never buy regular underwear anymore. I only buy Knix leak-proof and I wear it 24/7. So there's that. I highly recommend it, and especially now for the 40% off. And with that, those are really my biggest recommendations for this sale. A little bit of ranting at the beginning, a little bit of ranting at the end. But like always, if you have any questions about anything, if you have questions about sizing or about a particular product, let me know down in the comments, because I've tried pretty much every single thing Knix has ever released since their inception, and I think I've got a pretty good like finger on the pulse of what's going on there. Not with the ambassador program, clearly. I never know what's going on with the ambassador program. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you have a fabulous day and that I'll see you next time. Bye!